Now we are live, it's showing me.
Okay, I see it too. Wait for the video.
There we go. Yep. I see us on the video. I think we're good to go.
Super. Okay. Good morning, everybody. My name is Jana French. I'm the Community Relations and Media Manager for the City of Napa, and today I am joined with colleagues to give a presentation on business licenses in the City of Napa, and hopefully today we'll be providing a lot of great, useful information for our local business owners or soon-to-be business owners. I am going to pass the baton over to our presenters today. They can introduce themselves and get started on the presentation. Once the presentation concludes, we will open it up to questions and answers. So if you do have a question, please provide it in the comment section. We will read it out to the group and hopefully get your questions answered today. So, team, I am passing it off to you.
Well, good morning, everyone. We're so glad that you joined us. My name is Jennifer Owen. I'm a member of the Economic Development Division. I'll pass it to Frank to introduce himself.
Thank you, Jennifer. Hi, everyone. My name is Frank Herrera. I'm the Revenue Supervisor here for the Finance Department, City of Napa. And I'll pass it along to our partner here, Ian.
And hi, everyone. I'm Ian Davis. I'm from HDL Companies, and I'm the Senior Compliance Manager for the City of Napa.
Great. Thanks, everyone. I'll kick us off. What is a business license? We titled this Business License 101. In my capacity at the city as part of the economic development team, our team started a free offering called the Business Concierge Service. And the purpose of this offering is to help anybody with a business question at least connect with me. And if I don't know the answer, I can pass you to someone who does. But one of the main things that I spend a lot of time helping people with through that service is business licenses, applications, how they work, how to fill them out, why we need them. So we wanted to put this together to sort of answer some of those questions for all of you. So if you can take it to the next slide, please, Frank. What is a business license? A business license does three things in sort of my view. A, it allows you to do business in the city of Napa. B, it makes sure that the business that you are conducting is in compliance with our municipal code. So that's a way of saying you're doing business in a location that is appropriate for that business to take place. You're doing business in a way that is legal, compliant, and safe. Something that you can't see when you submit a business license application is what happens to it, right? It comes into our system and then it goes around to several different checkpoints in the city. People in planning are taking a look to make sure that the area that you've identified that you're doing business is zoned appropriately. People in our fire prevention team are looking to make sure that you're safe. So those are some really important things that are baked into the process. And then finally, it also facilitates the collection of sales tax and fees. And those are really important because they keep the motor of our city running. You can see there that 6% of our general fund is accounted for with business license fees. And so that takes care of everything from health and safety, fire protection, and paving potholes, everything from soup to nuts. Next slide, please, Pink. Who needs a business license? Anybody that's doing business in the city. A lot of construction projects you see happening all over the place. Even if that contractor is based in Fairfield, Vallejo, City of San Francisco, they're required to actually get a business license to come and work in our city on projects in our city. Of course, some organizations are exempt. If you think you might be exempt, there are some ways to figure that out, and we'll get to that in the customer service section. But mostly importantly, when you apply for it is right before you want to start collecting revenue. And if you want to go one more slide for me, Frank, there's kind of a list of things that you're going to want to do before you actually sit down to fill out that business license. Again, these are all things I'm happy to help you with as part of the Business Concierge Service. One of the first things is applying for your fictitious business name, which is also called DBA or doing business as. There's some rules about when you need those. I can help you understand that. You're going to want to figure out what your structure is. If you're a sole proprietor, an LLC, there's lots of resources out there that can help you decide what's going to be best for your business. You're going to get an EIN or employee identification number that is free, it's instantaneous, it's something you apply on a website for and you get it right away. Of course, if you're operating a home-based business, and there's lots of home-based businesses in the city of Napa, you're going to want to make sure that your landlord approves and signs off on that if you don't actually own the house. If you're doing anything with food, the county is our partner in making sure that that is happening in a safe way. Their environmental protection team handles consumer safety, and so they've got a list of requirements that you're going to want to get familiar with. And then this last link is a wonderful resource. The CalGold homepage lets you sort of plug in where you are and what you want to do, and it'll spit out a list of some of the permits that may or may not be required. Again, I'm happy to help you wade through those things, but these are some things to kind of get done or at least get started with before you actually apply for that business license. That's my piece. I'll be back in the Q&A, so I'm going to turn it over to Ian.
Thank you, Jennifer. So all great information, obviously, that we just heard, but this is obviously, this is the next step after all the pre-work that you have to do, the preamble stuff that you have to do in order to get the business license. They're also moved right into how we actually get that awesome business tax certificate. So we have an online website, napa.hdlgov.com. Basically, as you can see on the left-hand side of your presentation, you'll see that there is a list of items that you can choose from, whether it be that you're applying for a new business license, whether you're renewing an existing business license, if you maybe had a pay a balance due because you had something that you needed to take care of, if you've recently closed, moved to a different city or something along those lines, you can check it out. Or if you're even just a concerned citizen and you want to search for a licensed business or make sure that a business that you're shopping at is licensed and accurately paying their business tax, you can also search for them there. But yeah, this is just the quick website so you can be able to do everything online at your leisure. Move to the next slide, please, Frank. So running through the application, very simple stuff. Most of these things, I'm sure Jennifer would be able to very easily assist you with during the application process and during everything that she needs to do. But basically, you want to first start off by selecting a business type, determining where you are as a business. So for an example, where it says location, is your business based on inside or outside the city limits of Napa? Your business is, if you are in the city, like literally physically in the city, you will be inside. And Jennifer mentioned like contractors or things that are coming from outside the city in. You'll list yourself as an outside-based business. Normally, it just means that there's different requirements for those different types of businesses. So we have like different procedures that you go through. So it's very important that you know whether or not you're actually in the city limits of Napa. Business name is obviously, like she just mentioned, it can be something that's a DBA. It can be your actual legal name, things of that nature. You're going to want to make sure then after this, most of the rest of this is going to be very applicable information or very easy information to acquire. But normally, the things that are the most important is going to be your employee count, the amount of gross receipts that you generate, which is the total amount of revenue that you're generating in the city, and as much information that we can get about your business as possible so we can make sure to fix you in the correct tax category. Next slide, please. So next kind of important things, one is the sales tax if you're doing some sort of retail activity in the city. So that would be something that you would want to make sure that you put your seller's permit number in there so we can verify that you're a seller in the city and that you're permitted by the state. The next really important thing is that back in 2020, the state of California passed a bill called SB 205. Basically, this is to help regulate certain types of businesses like manufacturing businesses, wholesaling businesses, and warehousing business. You have to determine what your SIC code is. There is a website that you can see on the link there that will take you to and understand what the SIC codes are, and they're actually pretty easy to understand and pretty easy to obtain. 90% of businesses in the city are not going to actually really be required to do anything extra outside of this SIC code. It's really for a small number of businesses who have already probably gotten everything taken care of. But it is important to select the SIC code just to make sure you're not in one of those regulatory categories. Next slide, please. So last thing for me is just going over a couple of the items that you have for customer support. Obviously, the city of Napa very highly values the communication that we have with our taxpayers, the communication we have with our community. And so the first things first is that we have the city's business concierge service. You can reach that at 707-257-9572. You can also send over an email at economicdevelopment@cityofnapa.org. Business owners who need to call HDL's Business Support Center, if you wanted to ever talk to me a little bit more, if you wanted to talk to any tax experts, you can call us at 707-492-5154. We pretty much have and if you feel like you're someone that doesn't completely know everything or you don't have like a good support system, we always are available and always can try to help you from any time between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Business owners can obviously file online. You can also file by email. And you can also send in any checks or renewals or applications to our postal address in Fresno, California. And then with that, I'll pass it on over to Frank.
Thank you, Ian. So just to get into a couple of frequently asked questions on this. So if you do sell or close your business, you can call it HDL, and as mentioned previously, you can also do it online. I would say it's best to give them a call just because they could route you in different directions. So if you have a seller's permit through the state, just make sure that one is closed as well. Just make sure all your loose ends are tied up there. If you think you need a separate license for multiple businesses, yes, you will. Every business needs its own license, so every separate location will need its own license. If you believe that your business is exempt from taxes, again, please call HDL or shoot them over an email just to verify, make sure you have the right documentation, make sure that you're exempt. Yeah, please make sure to double check with HDL. If you own property in the city and you're thinking about renting it out, again, please call it HDL. That one gets a little bit more in the weeds, so it's better to seek guidance through HDL just to make sure that you're covered, whether you need a license or not. But for the most part, it may be a yes, but always good to check out. And then how often do you need to renew your license and how will you be notified? So this one really depends on the nature of your business, the business location, the amount of your gross receipts. The renewal periods are either quarterly or annually, but you'll be notified either via email or by mail, depending on the delivery preference that you chose, or if you have an email address associated with it. And then we get into delinquencies. So delinquencies are applied if business did not make a reasonable effort to comply. The penalty currently is 25% per quarter, up to a maximum of 50% of the total amount owed. If the payment is not received within 30 days, the city may get code enforcement involved. Those responsible are required to cover all related enforcement costs, such as staff time, inspection, legal fees, and collection efforts. But the rest of the taxpayers do not bear the burden, which is keeping a level playing field on it. And finally, we can get into the Q&As.
So far, we don't have any comments. We have about 10 viewers on right now, so we'd love to open that up to folks and see. We'll give them a few minutes. We are on a little bit of a delay, so okay, we've got one. And actually, I can answer this very quickly. One of our viewers, Pat, just asked if this will be recorded and available on the City of Napa's Facebook page, and the answer is yes and yes. This was recorded, and we will share this widely, the recording, after we are complete, so that other folks will have a chance to come back and watch it later and take notes or share it with others. So that was an easy one to answer. Do we have any other questions out there? We'll give it a few more minutes. You're welcome, Pat. We'll give it a few more minutes here. Is there anything else that you guys, our presenters, want to add or share? We'll wait to see if we have any other questions.
I guess I just want to restate the importance of our availability. I think it can feel confusing, opaque, cumbersome, but at every turn with our partners at HDL, Finance Division, Economic Development Planning, we're all people who are here trying to help you. So if you're frustrated or confused, it's as simple as an email or a phone call, I promise.
Wonderful. Well, I'm not seeing any other comments coming through right now, so if we want to just give another few seconds, and then maybe we just go ahead and wrap up, and then I'll just close the loop here and fill the space by saying, yes, again, this has been recorded, and we will share this with the folks on our Facebook page and other platforms. So we'll make sure that the recording's available and link to it from our website as well. So our business community will be able to find it. And actually, I'm going to take a quick pause here. We're getting some more comments. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to our comments here. Matt is asking if there is a particular resource or department to contact if you have a business that falls into some gray area when it comes to a business type. He says they're having some trouble getting clear guidance when it comes to zoning and permitting.
Yeah, you can absolutely reach out to me, Matt. Economic Development at cityofnapa.org. We sit next to our friends in planning, so if I don't know the answer, I just run on over there and can connect you with them, and we'll figure out how to get you moving forward.
And confirm that happens quite often. And then we have another question from Daniele. What if I have an online business as a makeup artist visiting my clients?
Online business as a makeup artist. You can't do makeup online, so there's something I'm missing here.
Yeah.
So if I'm understanding the question correctly, Daniele has an online business, but then
She goes and is.
I'm assuming they're visiting their clients in person. So I would imagine they're probably going to multiple cities. So if they're visiting a client in Napa, do they need a business license?
Yeah, so the answer is yes. So anytime, so you would need one whether you're visiting people in other cities or if your home place of business is in the city as well, right? So for an example, let's say you have an online business and that you basically advertise your services to anyone in the Napa County area or just in California in general, and that you go visit clients and your like home place of business is in Napa. You would still need to register for a local business license. The gross receipts that you would end up reporting, like so the money that you report, it would be based on whatever money you're generating in Napa. So let's say you visited a client in Napa, visited a client in San Francisco, visited a client in Vallejo. You would report to each of those jurisdictions differently and only report whatever you're doing in Napa. So it would just be dependent on what you're, basically exactly what you're doing, how you're doing. This is the type of thing that we would love for you to call in and ask us questions about. And then we can definitely guide you through what you're supposed to be doing for this city. And the benefit of having HDL too for the city of Napa is that we work for 200 clients throughout the state of California. So we also have very, in-depth knowledge about what you would have to do just generally as your business if you had this type of interesting dynamic with your clients/customers and how you want to go about doing that.
Awesome. And then just a couple quick follow-ups from Daniele. I mentioned that one of the components is an online tutorial that people can pay for.
Cool.
So that's one component. Does anybody want to address that real quick before I move on to the next?
Right. And yeah, so if you live in Napa, right, so just to add clarity on that, if you live in Napa and you're doing like an online business, like so for an example, just to even boil this down even smaller, if you're doing some sort of business activity that is like consulting work or something along those lines, right? Like, and you're doing it from your house, you are technically a home occupation business and you're operating a business within your home, and you would basically have to file for a business license for being a home occupation business. Now, if you go do work somewhere else, like you have a virtual office or you have some sort of like work suite that you work out of, something like that, then you would become a commercial-based business because you're basically doing business out of a commercial location. So these are all things, like I said, that we would want to work through with you on, and make sure that everything is covered.
Awesome. Wonderful. And then the last, Matt, just going back to Matt's question, he said, awesome, thank you, and he asked for confirmation on that email. We have put that into the chat. But Jennifer, if you want to go ahead and give that email again.
Sure. It's a mouthful. Economic Development at cityofnapa.org. Yeah, thank you, Frank. There it is on the screen.
Super. There we go. Okay. Looks like we've wrapped up all of the comments and questions so far, and it looks like we've answered them. We'll give it just a few more seconds here, see if anything else rolls through. But if not, I think we can go ahead and start our wrap-up. I think we're good. Is there anything else that you guys want to add before we close the loop on this wonderful webinar today?
Just thank you for being here, and getting to help businesses like this is like my absolute favorite part of my job. So please don't hesitate to reach out. And as you can see, every business is different. We're constantly learning because you guys are doing so many interesting and cool things. And I think one of the things that I hope you take away from this is that with our partners, that HCL and with the folks here at the city, we're here to figure out how to help you.
Awesome. Frank and Ian, anything else you guys want to add before we close for today?
No, I'm just really glad you guys could make it out. Hopefully with the recording, get a couple more questions, and yeah, looking forward to those.
Super. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up today. Thank you, Jennifer, Frank, and Ian for your time and for all this valuable information. As everyone stated, our staff here is always here to help, always happy to do that, and the best part of our job is working with our community to make their lives easier. So do reach out if you have questions, and let us know what we can do for you. In the meantime, we'll go ahead and wrap up this recording and have it ready for viewing as soon as we can. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.